Kelly Vaughn, and this is Inside Indy. Think back to when you were a young lady or lad and you dreamed of going to the prom, that very special day, and you probably went, you probably had something to wear. But there are some people who don't get a chance to go to the prom or to a very special event because they don't have the proper attire. And we have a couple of ladies in the studio today who are going to tell us how we can make those dreams of going to the prom or to that special event possible. And they are Julia Rutland. You are Executive Director of The Gifted Gown.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
We have Janelle Sissel, who is the Vice President of the Board of Directors for The Gifted Gown.
Yes, thank you for having us today.
Welcome to you too to the show. The Gifted Gown, tell us something about the organization and how you help those who dream of going to that special occasion.
Sure. We discovered that there was a need, first within our township, and we worked with a couple different school districts and found out that it was more than just our township, it was throughout the city. So we formed the Gifted Gown, and it officially, we started in 2011 helping school districts, and then in 2013 became our own entity to help anybody around the city who needed help. And then in about 2015, we added help for our young men as well. So it's young ladies and young men. Because we found out that there were people not going to prom because they did not have a gown or a tux, and they weren't going because of financial hardship or need in general. We don't want anybody to miss out on those really special times in life.
Neat.
So.
Yeah.
And this year we started actually helping more than just young people, more than just young men and women. We've also helped adults. Sometimes we've gotten people that said they need help for military balls, or we've helped a senior citizen community with their senior prom. So there's a lot of different communities in need of formal wear and attire, and we just are excited to help.
Because it's expensive to go to the ball, to go to the prom. I mean, do we know what the average cost right now is for the average student who wants to go to the prom?
The average prom cost is anywhere from $175 to $2,000.
Are you serious?
Yes, and that can include the attire, flowers, limo, prom tickets, dinner. So yeah, it can get pretty costly.
Wow.
And then you add a promposal into that, which is more of a
The promposal?
new trend, yes, which is like a proposal for, when you get engaged, but this is to be asked to go to the prom. So it's another step in the process.
Okay. So let's talk about the young ladies and the young men who benefit from the Gifted Gown, who they are, and what is typically going on in the lives of those individuals where, why they cannot go, and what are the barriers that keep them from getting that tux or getting that gown.
Sure.
I remember one year we had a family. Mom had lost her job. Father had lost his job, and she was not going to go to prom. There was no way she was going to go. And they were able to go ahead and get a prom dress, shoes, accessories, and she actually had a graduation or something of that nature, so she got a graduation dress too. So, I mean, Mom was in tears. Daughter was in tears because we were able to help, and she was able to go to prom, which is a huge milestone for any kid.
Okay.
And we also partner with different community organizations throughout the city as well, and they refer different young people or people in general to us who may be at higher risk or in more need for different events and things.
Okay.
So we had some youth who were homeless through one organization. We had a few that just were identified in different school districts and things, and the teachers or the counselors really want to do something special because they deserve to be able to go to these things, and so that we were able to help with that as well.
So everybody's journey is different. It could be a child whose family just broke up, or in a shelter, or whatever. The parents just lost their jobs. That kind of thing. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
And no questions asked. So we don't do income verification or that sort of thing. If you're identified as having a need or financial hardship and you come to us, then we're more than happy to help with that.
Now, how do they get the gown or the tux? What's the process for that? Because that sounds pretty interesting how that all happens.
Well, first they go to our website, and then there's a registration process.
Okay.
And then they'll make an appointment. At the day of their appointment, they show up, and we have personal shoppers that sort of check their sizes, and we help them shop. We tell them yes or no, and it's just like a wonderful shopping experience. And our headquarters is like a boutique, so it's not like a Goodwill or bargain basement type thing. Like, we actually want the person coming in to feel welcomed, and to feel like to just feel normal, like this is a normal shopping experience.
And we want you to bring your mom and your friends and your, whoever is close with you, like you would for any special occasion. That you come in and actually feel like you're shopping, and it's not something that, is a handout. We're just here to help, and it's more of a boutique experience.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
fun.
Wow. So they gather their things, and again, no questions asked, free of charge. And so now, where do you get the clothing that you donate to the young people or whoever you're helping?
We, from private closets, some organizations have collected gowns for us via dress drives. Boutiques, we have a couple special ones. Raylan's is one here in the city, and then there's one in Elkhart, Indiana, called Ashley Renee's, and they give us beautiful gowns for our young people. So just just the kindness of the whole community, everybody comes together, and they're beautiful things. People really donate because they care. It's not something that they don't want, so they really have loved this dress, and they want to gift it to someone so they have another great experience with it as well.
Because I was wondering about that. You would think if somebody's donating something, and then especially young people, because it's got to be a certain thing, a certain way, or a certain style,
Right.
And so when they get there, they might be thinking, oh yeah, right, I'm going to find something I like. But you're saying when they get there, they're having a ball.
Oh yeah, it's
We have so
awesome.
much fun.
It's a wonderful experience, and some of the clothes, new on tags, still on the gowns. Some of them are from Indy's top fashion designers. So there's a huge variety. We also have some vintage in the back, so we can really cater to just about any young person or adult's needs as far as their taste and style.
Okay. So now, how do you qualify for it, though? I know you said to apply, but do you have a certain requirement, income, or is it just based on situation or that person's story, or how do you decide?
Yeah, no, if you come to us and you have a need, we're here to fill that need. So there's no, there's a registration process that, just getting your name and getting to know what type of event you're going to, and just so we can prepare for your event. But yeah, there's no questions asked. We're just here to help. So.
No income verification. Yeah, and the registration's pretty short. It's just a page long. If it's young people, we ask what school they go to, how do they hear about us, and that just helps us in the future of who do we need to get with, and what communities are in need of the services.
And so it could be anybody from any walk of life. And I have to share this story because you talk about people being in need, and I was actually out of work for a while, and I got the job on this show. And I did not have anything to wear on the show. And so I wish I had known about who you all were.
Sure.
And I went to Goodwill. And I found my outfits to wear on the show. And I have no shame about that. I was in fact, I get a lot of compliments. In fact, I think this is one of them.
It's beautiful, right?
That's my second home, Goodwill. But so see, it just goes to show you, it doesn't matter what you do or what you might need or what you might be going through, that you provide a service that people can take advantage of. So, wow, pretty cool. So now let people out there who are watching know how they can participate, how they can give to help you out with your cause.
Sure. We are on every social media outlet, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and you can get to us through our website, which is www.thegiftedgown.com, or give us a call, which is 317-662-GOWN, and we're more than happy to help anyone who reaches out to us. So.
Okay. Any other stories you want to share? I mean, I would think you have tons of them in terms of people who were impacted or how they reacted to receiving that special, and we haven't talked about the guys, what their reaction is to it.
Well, the guys are usually dragged in by their girlfriends.
Okay.
But once they get there, they are pleasantly surprised and they're very comfortable, because I think for a young man or a man coming into what they think is, just gowns, and they really have a fun experience. So once they get in there and find out that we do have things for them, then they have a good time.
Okay.
So.
Every year we have an event, and it's called, of course, the Gift of Gown. It's around prom season, typically in April. And this past event, it was the cutest thing. A mother had came in, it was a teen mom, came in with her baby, like newborn infant baby. And she couldn't shop because, she had the baby, and, there was a lot of people there. We helped 150 girls at our last event. There was a lot of people there. It was just kind of crazy. And one of our volunteers actually took her baby and had her baby pretty much the whole time she was there,
She did.
so that she could shop and she can go ahead and try on her clothes and things like that. And we're like, where did you come with this baby? But it was just so, and we had thank you cards, because we have sometimes our girls fill out thank you cards for our volunteers, and we've gotten thank you cards where they've just felt so comfortable. There was no judgment. They just had a really, really great time. But yeah, she just walked around with this baby. It's like,
Okay.
you have a baby for her. So I thought that was so nice.
Impact on self-esteem, you see what?
Oh, it's huge. It seems like, just one event, wouldn't make that big of an impact, but it's what goes around that event, and it's the caring that we put into each person, that we do care that you're here, and we care about your event, we care about you, we want to make you, the very best that you can be, and that's what our number one priority is. And when you leave, we're all usually crying anyway at every appointment.
Yeah.
So there's, it's just to make someone feel that way, or know that they, that there are people out there that care about them. So.
And there's nothing like seeing a girl come in and she just has on her regular clothes, but then she puts on a ball gown. And to look at herself in the mirror, and she's maybe not dressed up ever in her life, but then to see herself in the mirror and just see that glow on their face, that smile, like, oh my gosh, this is what I look like. Like, that's awesome.
Priceless,
Very
absolutely.
Cool, very
yes.
cool. Okay, that info again, how do people get in touch with you?
Website, www.thegiftedgown.com. You can give us a call, 317-662-GOWN, or on any of our Facebook pages. Facebook, social media is just at thegiftedgown.com.
Okay, Julia Rutland and Janelle Sissel, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having
and
me.
Thank you for
sharing
having
info
us.
on The Gifted Gown.
Thank you.
And we'll be back after this. And we're back, and as I mentioned, I'm old school. We're talking about a new school here on Inside Indy, and here to talk about it is Ryan Gallagher. He is the Chief Advancement Officer for Traders Point Christian Schools in Whitestown, Indiana. Welcome to the show, Ryan.
Thanks, Kelly.
Wow, you guys are opening up a whole new, it's a high school?
A brand new high school.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, we've been told it's the only Christian high school being built in the U.S. right now.
Really?
Dr. Bruce Wilkinson told us that, and we'll take his word for it. So we're really
Okay.
excited.
I'm not going to
And it's
argue with him.
a great responsibility. We're firing on all cylinders right now to open by August.
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay. Now, I know a little bit about Traders Point Christian Church. I know it
Sure.
used to be on Lafayette Road, but you moved to Whitestown. So give us a little bit of history on the church and the schools.
Absolutely. So the school really started in the church as an early childhood
Okay.
program, and it was such a strong program that it grew. And as you can see over that started 40 years ago. So
Wow.
It's been growing since, and we added a high school component about 7-8 years ago now.
Okay.
And it's just the students have never had their own space. So we've grown incrementally over time, and now we're at a point where we have about 93, 94 students, and they really need their own space. They can't walk the halls with our K through 8 students as well.
Yeah,
And
that
they-
would be
and they
cramping
need to
my
have-
style a little bit.
I know, right? So we've had some community supporters step forward and say, let's do this. And 20 months ago, we started raising money for a $7.5 million building and campus.
And
here we are.
Wow, just like that. So, and I know it's not just like that. It does take time to make all these things happen. So how many students will the high school be able to hold?
The first facility, Learning Center 1, will be able to hold up to 300, 350 students at max capacity.
Wow.
We'll open next year at 150 or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, and when you open a new high school, do you recruit? I mean, how are you going to fill that space? Did the people just decide, hey, I heard there's a new high school. Do you have to live in that area?
Right.
How does one go to Traders Point Christian High School?
Great question. The thing is we're the only private K through 12 north of 86th Street and west of Meridian. So when it comes to people being interested in coming to school, it's just a matter of them knowing about us. And I think most people just don't know that we've expanded as rapidly as we have.
Okay.
And so that's part of my job, is to get the word out, make sure that people know what our vision is. And that's to prepare and equip students to reach their highest individual potential while transforming the world for Christ.
Amen. So how is what you all do different than, say, some of the older schools, traditional schools in the city, or even some of the private schools? How are you different? What can I get there that I'm not going to get elsewhere?
Yeah, our head of school, Mr. Ron Evans, has a business background. So he has an MBA, and he really looks at those continuous improvement metrics for us to look outside of the box and be innovative in what we're doing. I think our high school is a perfect example of that. You can see it in the building. So we have a lot of non-traditional space that can be utilized according to how the students are learning. So whatever subject's going to be taught throughout that day, throughout that week, the teachers, who will have a common workplace, not the traditional classroom setting where they have their desk, will check out a learning space that is most conducive to the material that they're teaching that week that the students need to learn. And then we'll look at research that shows that test scores are higher when you have daylight present, direct light, and so every space has natural light. So very intentional about our design.
You are so right. I mean, okay, here at Channel 40, I operate in the chapel because there are windows.
Right.
And light, and I don't do so well closed in an office where I can't see out.
Right.
And I thought I was crazy. They thought I was crazy.
Well,
why are you in the chapel, right?
I think most people know, especially this time of year, sun's starting to come out, spring is here, we're feeling better, and that's what students feel when they're in a classroom with natural light. So each classroom space has a courtyard on the first floor, so if it's nice out those 4 or 5 months out of the year in Indiana, they can walk outside and take it all in. So we're really looking forward to seeing students use our space because it's flexible enough to grow with them.
Wow, that's interesting, it being flexible. So they're able to be in certain places. It just seems that the traditional school is it constricts you so.
Right.
So they have a little better flow with where they go and what they do.
Yeah. So we'll have the close to traditional settings where it looks like a classroom, but it has that courtyard natural light feel.
Okay.
But this teacher will check that space out at the beginning of the week or the month to say, this is most conducive to what I want to teach. Whereas there may be a space where we want to have a Socratic seminar or an open space group methodology to deliver the learning. And what we'll do is check out an open area like our town square, where we'll have our chapels and right next to our coffee shop to come in and just kind of relax in that group setting and let the space be flexible enough to deliver the material for the day.
Wow, okay. So I would think cutting edge in terms of technology, the choices and things that kids would have access to as well?
Absolutely. We're always looking at opportunities to improve. And with that, it comes some growing pains. And so, right now, we're just exploring every opportunity. We're going to have the worship arts present as well. And so we'll have a class where students can learn how to operate our soundboard and put on a production in our town square with a screen that'll come down and a huge soundboard up above.
Wow.
So we're really looking at that innovative approach to delivering the 21st century learning. Okay.
What about athletics when I think about a high school?
Yeah.
So, and have you been in the athletic game, so to speak?
I'm originally born I'm from Ohio, and so the language is a little different, but the school has been in the game, and they continue to grow. And that's what's great about our schools. I think that we're willing to take on that big challenge that sometimes takes a little longer with those organizations that have been around as long as us. When you're an organization that's been around for 40 years, you don't adapt to change as good as you would if you were, a brand new operation. And so we have that history, but we also have the ability to adapt. And so we started our varsity football program 7 years ago. And we're moving into our field. Was our first time on our own field. Our first home game was last year at Witham Field, who they come on as a corporate sponsor to support that, as long as some private support. That's $1.5 million turf field, the same field that you'll see at Butler and the Baltimore Ravens Stadium. And so we're able to provide, a new soccer program next year. We're just growing by leaps and bounds when it comes to athletics and other programs that our school has to offer.
Okay, sounds like a win-win.
Yeah.
So what's next for this year's graduating class?
Yeah, so this year's graduating class, they're in the last, I think someone said 11 days are left in the semester. And then they'll head into graduation shortly thereafter. But our job between now and then is to make sure that they're equipped and prepared to impact the world for Christ. And that's really what we're all about, making sure that we get the word out, that people know who we are, and we make that connection through relationship between people, between faculty and staff, staff and board members. It's all about the relationship that we carry forward to hold each other accountable and to grow. Now,
I'm a product of IPS. Go Rockets, Broad Ripple. So I don't know what it's like to go to a Christian school. I know nothing about that. So tell some, and I'm sure a lot of people have never been to a Christian school. So what would we see that I don't see when you don't go to a Christian school?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I'm a public school kid as well, and it served me very well. I think the component that most surprised me when I started at Traders Point Christian Schools was the worship. To be able to speak freely about your beliefs and openly about that. And so we have mentor groups that help hold people accountable, especially at that age when you're going through, finding yourself and what your values are and what your beliefs are. We really challenge and educate those students to live a transformed life and identity in Jesus Christ. And that's where we are. But the great part is that we accept everyone. Come as you are, and just know that we're going to tell you about what we believe and where we're grounded. But we want to be inclusive as we grow. And I think that's one of the reasons that we're in our third year of record enrollment right now. People are realizing that they're welcome. You belong at Traders Point Christian Schools, and grow with us. Help us, write the next chapter as we open this new high school.
Okay, so opening in August, and if people want to find out more or to sign up, where do they go?
mytraderspoint.org. We'll give you a nice video, and you can. It's really easy to sign up for more information. We'd love to give you a tour of our new facility. Okay,
sounds good to me. Ryan Gallagher, who is the Chief Advancement Officer for Traders Point Christian Schools in Whitestown, Indiana. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Kelly.
On Inside Indy, and thank you for joining us. I'm Kelly Vaughn. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.